the FBI director is based on the Constitution.
But that's a conclusion. That's a conclusion.
Well, no,
I'm saying, would he even look at it?
That's actually the predicate. You don't even go to that you don't even go to the looking at whatever the facts are based on if in fact the president has that authority to begin with. So actually the way it works is you look at the constitutional issues. But let me say this.
Hold on a second.
Do you think
hold on. Now, this matters, Jay, and I respect you very much as a counsel. I've researched you a lot. I know who you are. You're a good attorney. The president hired well here. What I'm saying is, look, Mueller is tasked with looking at all of the circumstances surrounding the Russia interference probe, right? That's common knowledge. This is something that he would look at. Comey said as much in his own testimony. That doesn't mean that the president is a target. And for those at home, you have target, subject, witness. And, you know, we don't know what the extent of it is or if he will even pursue it on any level. But to fight the notion that Mueller would be looking at this at all seems to be something that only the president wants to be not true. But it makes perfect sense that he would be looking at it. Why fight that notion?
It's not a question of fighting notions. It's a question of responding to a leak from the Washington Post that set up a predicate that the president was under investigation. That's all I've addressed.
I know, but you say he can't be under investigation because I haven't been told. And that's a specious premise. No. There's no duty to tell you whether you're under investigation.
No, and that's incorrect. Right? That's incorrect. Here's what I said. The response by the president in his tweet was in response to the Washington Post piece from 5 undocumented sources.
Okay.
The response what I'm talking about here is the constitutional issue of the president's ability to take action based on the recommendation of his people and based on his authority as president of the United States. We all understand the constitutional authority.
And how could you make an informed analysis of that if you don't know what he did?
Well, who would not know what he did?
How could Mueller make an informed decision about whether or not what the president did went beyond his power if he doesn't know what he did?
Well, look, sure, but here's the question. I mean, I think this
if your answer is sure, then you are validating the fact that he needs to look at the underlying facts.
That's correct. In a hypothetical,
in reality,
that's correct. But the questions I received, in every question received this weekend was, including Chris Wallace yesterday, said, have you been notified that the president is under investigation? When I say, we've not been notified. No, the president's not under investigation.
Right, but is there any duty for them to tell you?
No duty to tell in the sense of an obligation to tell, but you know how it works in Washington. If you were a target, if you were being investigated, you would be told really quickly into the investigation
process.
Not
necessarily. And what's odd about this is, why don't you just pick up the phone and call Bob Mueller and ask whether or not your client has any role in their investigation? Why don't you just ask? Why don't you ask McGahn to just make a phone call? It's not like this White House is averse to making any kind of inquiries about the Russia probe. Why not just find out?
You know, but you're basing your conversation. You said this earlier. You said that Comey said that he's sure the special counsel will look at this.
Yeah,
James Comey didn't bother to hold it. Well, James Comey didn't bother to do that when Loretta Lynch, when she was the Attorney General and Hillary Clinton was being investigated, he decided to become judge and jury. So I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis
that's irrelevant
into
here.
what
Comey did or didn't
it's very
do.
Irrelevant.
Why is that helpful in assessing whether or not Mueller would be looking at the circumstances surrounding the firing of Jim Comey?
The relevancy is that the only reason we're talking about this is because of what? A leak from the Washington Post.
That's absolutely not true. That is not why I'm asking you.
You didn't let me finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
You didn't let me finish. Because James Comey raised it up in his testimony. He said, I'm sure the special counsel is going to do it. I wouldn't exactly call James Comey a credible witness on this matter, period.
That's fine.
I really don't.
That's fine. That's your opinion and you're welcome to it. What I'm saying is, the idea that Mueller wouldn't be looking at the circumstances surrounding the firing of the director of the FBI just defies common sense because of what we know about those circumstances.
You're asking me to...
Doesn't mean he's going to draw a conclusion. It doesn't mean he's going to give a recommendation, but he'd look at it.
No, of course not. Yeah, but you're asking me to give a speculation as to what the special counsel might do in the future. The question I was asked, is the president under investigation?
And you said no, he isn't.
No,
and you can't. But you don't know whether or not that's true. You could know.
Actually, the question,
and why you haven't picked up the phone to find out is a little odd. If I hired you, I'd want you to make that phone call.
Well, you haven't hired us because we represent the president of the United States. But let me say this.
Thank God. Thank God I don't need you right now, Jay Sakulow.